EU citizens and their families who apply late to the EU settlement scheme will have their day-to-day rights protected while that application is considered, the Home Office has announced. The U-turn came in a press release on Friday evening, which says, while the numbers applying late, that means after June 2021, have been small compared to pre-deadline application numbers, to provide further reassurance to late applicants, the government will protect their rights until their application and any appeal is decided. The government will also take a similar approach with joining family members who will have temporary protection for 3 months after their arrival in the UK and pending the outcome of an EUSS application made during that period and of any appeal. It's not clear from this statement whether the government proposes to change the law to protect people in this position. For example, by extending the regulations that cover people with pending applications submitted before the deadline to cover late applicants also. Parliament isn't sitting at the moment, so wouldn't be able to pass anything in the short term anyway. The statement says that further details will be published in due course, although we've heard that a lot. It may be that government intends to muddle through without legislative change, as usual. After all, as was explained several times before, the approach to pending and time applications is already more lenient than the strict letter of the law would seem to allow. In this scenario, the government would just update its various guidance documents to instruct those in authority who come in contact with late applicants to leave them alone, essentially. You can see a flavor of this in a note added to gov.uk page on right-to-work checks for EU citizens, and that was also on Friday afternoon. On August 6th, the government announced temporary protection for more applicants to the EUSS. This means that those who apply from July 1st and joining family members will continue to have their rights protected while their application is determined. Late applicants and joining family members will now be able to take up new employment while they await the outcome of their application. This is not yet reflected in the employer's guides to right-to-work checks, but presumably it soon will be. I should stress a couple of things at this point. First, all of this is only for people who have made an EU settlement scheme application on or after July 1st, and it is still being considered. Once somebody is granted their pre-settled or settled status, even on the basis of a late application, they are pretty much sorted. On the other hand, if somebody might be entitled to apply late but hasn't actually done so, there is no particular reason to think that they will be protected by this announcement. Actually, putting in the application is what triggers these temporary protections. The Independent reports that the potential light of some 70,000 non-applicants who are due to a final warning about their benefits. There has been a strong legal argument that temporary protections for late applications has been required all along under the UK-EU withdrawal agreement. Article 18 provides in number 1D, where the deadline for submitting the application is not respected by the persons concerned, the competent authorities shall assess all the circumstances and reasons for not respecting the deadline and shall allow those persons to submit an application within a reasonable further period of time if there are reasonable grounds for the failure to respect the deadline. And in number 3, pending a final decision by the competent authorities on any application referred to in paragraph 1 and pending a final judgment handed down in case of a judicial redress sought against any rejection of such application by the competent administrative authorities. All rights provided for in this part shall be deemed to apply to the applicant. The reference to any application arguably includes a late application. This is a point that the European Commission, among others, has been making for some time. The Home Office press release explicitly mentions that it has informed the Commission of its decision. It also refers to the change as a generous approach when it may be more a case of belatedly bowing to legal reality. Nor is it particularly generous to those who have been struggling to claim benefits, etc., over the past 6 weeks under a now abandoned policy. Looking ahead, though, the announcement is certainly welcome news, even if it's some smokescreening again. The challenge is to make it stick. Employers, landlords, and benefits officials have spent months, if not years, hearing that EU citizens who missed the deadline are persona non grata, and since July 1st were supposed to act accordingly. Now the government has changed the rules on them again. It would not be a surprise if understanding of the new position among those supposed to enforce it were somewhat lacking. In other words, the risk remains that people who have made late applications will struggle to benefit from the government's beyond late-minute reverse ferret. The Home Office announcement does say that employers and landlords are advised to get in touch with the employer and landlord checking services if they have a prospective employee or tenant who has confirmation of a late application. Urging them to do may be the best to vindicate these temporary rights in practice. But how many EU citizens live in the UK? Great Britain, as you know, officially left the European Union on February 1st in 2020, but the transition periods for free movement of people also continue to apply until the end of 2020. As part of the Brexit agreement between the European Union and Great Britain, it was decided that EU citizens would live in Great Britain and vice versa, British citizens in the EU, and should retain their right of residence even after the transition period has ended. For this, however, EU citizens in Great Britain had to take action, as I said in the beginning of the video, and apply for new residence status from the British authorities by June 30th. And now we have this extension. A total of more than 5.6 million applications, including EEA citizens, by the way, have been received by the British authorities, which means that the real number of EU citizens living in Great Britain is likely to be significantly higher than the information published in the recent years, which was due to a lack of registration in Great Britain and were based only on official estimates by the UK authorities. At the end of 2019, the British authorities assumed an estimated 3.7 million EU citizens in Great Britain. In mid-2020, the number was reduced to around 3.5 million. And due to the corona pandemic, which has hit Great Britain in particular, the British authorities are assuming high emigration figures for the period July 2020 to June 2021. But how many EU citizens actually live in Great Britain will not be conclusively clarified even with the upcoming publications. However, based on the evaluation of the residence applications, more valid information can certainly be expected. The statistic shows the number of EU foreigners residing in the UK broken down by nationality in 2020, and I found one and I want to give it to you. Around 815,000 Polish citizens lived in the UK in 2020. Overall, the Polish community is the largest foreign population in Great Britain and therefore the largest community of EU foreigners in the UK. Compared to the previous year, however, many Poles have left Great Britain. In 2019, there were around 900,000 Polish citizens that lived in Great Britain. So the current numbers for 2020 are Poland 815,000, as I said, Romania 404,000, Ireland 321,000, Italy 311,000, Portugal 271,000, Spain 185,000, France 164,000, Lithuania 152,000, Germany 142,000, Bulgaria 118,000, Hungary 108,000, Latvia 92,000, Netherlands 91,000, Slovakia 77,000, Greece 65,000, Sweden 42,000, Czech Republic 36,000, Denmark 28,000, Belgium 21,000, Finland 14,000, and Cyprus 13,000. And the numbers are a bit differently mixed than I expected them, so it was quite interesting to see them. It's just some side information here. But I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.